we talked about how Loot.bet is one of our sponsors, and obviously you can go to the website and register with the promo code Valentine and get the bonuses. But when you look at these bonuses, it was previous that when we came in here, Gambit was a heavier underdog, and then now through this draft, they've actually become a little bit closer according to them. How can that be with what we're seeing here?
Again, an OD Lone Druid?
And they picked it into the Lone Druid. I mean, we saw how that matchup went before, and they've just decided.
They must have a different idea on the lanes. They must have not.
Like they have the
We're
Ursa.
going to have some musical lanes.
The Ursa was picked, and there's Lone Druid and Terrorblighted. I mean, these two heroes, like Ursa's not going to kill these heroes. So, I don't know, I feel it's a bit off the rails again from Gambit here with this draft.
Well, more so than game one.
Yeah, more so than the first game.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it's just little things as well. Like the Terrorblade's so beautiful with the Keeper of the Light. You get the Will-O-Wisp down, Reflection as well. Suddenly they're all trapped in place and getting beaten down by their own illusions. It just, again, this seems like a very tough draft.
Well, team fights better, late game's better.
Oh, and tell me how Gambit can win this then.
What has to happen? If Alpha Ninja doesn't get crushed in the lane, but he's playing the same matchup that he did last game where he did not have a great time. So unless they're going to move the OD to a side lane, which, I mean, that doesn't sound any better. Like OD in a side lane is pretty awful. I don't know. I don't think they can with this draft. I think NaVi's going to be smiling all the way to the victory on this one.
Do any of you see a way for Gambit to, like, without it being, you know, the 5%er, like,
they gotta
a real...
crush the lanes. OD's got to go off. He's got to have the freedom to get Midas, Kayayasha, or at least one of those, and they need to win the lanes. Chen's got to get them two towers, tier 1 towers by 10 minutes. Not going to win. It's five single target heroes against like an actually pretty good draft.
Not close.
They lost the draft at the opener, and it only got worse from there.
All right.
NaVi.
Everyone says NaVi, and Loot.bet, they say they still only have it a 9-cent difference in this game, but so they think it's more 50-50, but they also choose NaVi.
Yeah.
Let's get into those games and find out if they can close it.
Well, the panel likes NaVi. Safe to say, the draft, the way that finished and everything. Do you have a similar opinion there, Purge?
I don't know. All I can think about is that great LD performance last game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see how it matches up. Single target damage is definitely going to be an issue when you get into team fights at times, especially if the fights don't go well. It can provide a lot of difficulties, especially as defensive items come out as the game continues. So it's definitely something that could be a big problem as the game develops. If they don't win their lanes like last game, if they get ganked too much, or if they just get outplayed, then yeah, it's going to be a big issue. And considering that we have, again, OD versus Lone Druid, they got to change something up. Either play the matchup better or something else, because you can't have a repeat in the mid lane like last game.
I was going to say, are we going to see some kind of lane swap? But right now, Alpha9, she is on the OD and headed towards the mid lane. He's currently sitting there as if he's expecting to do so.
That's, it'll probably be the same.
Yeah, I guess Ursa might not be much better in that mid lane matchup. So
yeah, not at all. I mean, your Fear Slips doesn't last nearly as long as it used to. If it was still at like 20 seconds or something, yeah, it's possible. Because then every time the bear comes up, slap it a little bit, slap it around a little bit, let it know that you're gonna kill it if it keeps sticking around. So, in this case, it was a fun way to run here.
Yeah, Dahak. Fun or poorly decided? I mean, this is he's going to be body blocked a little bit, but it seems like he will be able to make his way out.
He's messing with him. Look at that. He already hit the tango. He's like, go ahead, hit me.
Yeah, he
slapped me in the butt. He likes this. He saw the Quap Razor video.
Ursa's kinky like that, yeah.
Yep. I think Ursa potentially could be good this game. It's going to be a little hard to play against Elder Titan at times and against Lone Druid, but once he gets to like BKB territory, he can absolutely shred some faces or some booties, whichever way he attacks from.
Either high or low, yeah.
I haven't really felt tons of value out of Chen yet myself. It seems okay, but I'm not really seeing super justified value.
Yeah, no, we've had that discussion as Crystallize, he should be good to go, but taking some decent damage up here at the top lane. Again, just how Chens are played nowadays. We're no longer seeing this army Chen build. It's instead more of this maxing out the Divine Favor first. They like to buff upset targets with it, and you play around a couple of earlier creeps, but you know, maybe abusing the recall, but
they're getting some points. Like they're definitely using creeps, but it's definitely more, it's less of a focus. And I can't help but watch it and wonder, like, would it be a lot better if you got more of your third skill? Like, get like 2 points of your second skill by all means, but maybe it'd be better if you max Holy Persuasion earlier. I'm not sure though. I could very easily be wrong, but I just feel like maybe you could do more on the map. But, like, imagine if you could micro perfectly. Surely spending like a skill point to have an extra creep that could be somewhere split pushing is better, you know? It's difficult to do that.
Well, higher level creep now too, remember, because I believe it goes 4, 5, 6, 6 as far as a level that
Correct.
you can take over.
So it's only 2 more creeps that you could take, the big satyr and the troll.
Okay.
But, you know, if that's what ends up popping up, and certainly having like 2 satyrs, you can split push a creep wave easily by yourself with those 2 units. So I just feel like there's potential that is maybe being lost out on, but I don't know, I'd have to experiment with it more. And pro players would be doing it more. I'm sure they have tried it. Just must have some weaknesses that I don't know about.
Pango was hyping up this Brewmaster quite a bit, especially in response to the CK. Of course, the idea that Purge is very good this game.
It's a dispel, okay.
The dispel.
As much as I like
like
having that name.
Like the Purge there. Okay, so the dispel, though, again, the idea with the illusions pretty much immediately eliminated, and something Afterlife is just simply going to have to deal with because of the pick.
Yeah, it's going to make it harder to get good damage out, for sure. Dispels are just good across the board, actually, this game. Just the Magnetize, you can dispel Ursa's Overpower, or can't do his ulti anymore, but lots of good options, basically.
Yeah, good value. The lift, 6-second crowd control, always going to be useful. On top of that, so yeah, Brewmaster expecting some big plays out of him. Magical. In that mid lane right now, he is looking at 7-4 Lone Druid versus the 8-5 OD, so at least earlier on. F9 having a slightly decent time. Slightly better even. That's Crystallized. Oh, he's going to pop a salve.
Yeah.
He'll heal it up for the time being.
Not too surprised to see him pressured. This is one place where CK works really well. Good mix of physical and magical damage, and pairing that with another hero like Earth Spirit means they can definitely kill the Terrorblade. But as long as TB doesn't die and he gets to a little bit later in the game, he should he should play up very well against OD. Very good against Ursa, and even CK in the late game is not bad.
We see both teams kind of doing some lane manipulation here on either side. And take a look at the bottom lane. You got that creep wave pulled, so Brewmaster going to pick up on some CS. But yeah, that top lane, 10-5 Terrorblade versus a 6-0 Chaos Knight. I was noticing. So yeah, Crystallize is having the better, despite getting low right there. Choose also getting low for the time being. The rolling from Immersion. Not enough damage, though, to finish the job. He'll limp away. He will survive. No first blood yet.
They had plenty of damage, just way too much slow. They basically couldn't chase him that small inch farther to get the kill. A little bit low on CK's mana appears, but they've got boots now, so it should be easier. CK's boots advantage is huge because his base movement speed is so high, so it'll help a lot. In the mid lane, 14-8 versus the OD's 15-5, so last sitting going very even there. Yeah. In some ways, I'm excited that they're playing the same matchup again. Immersion is going to die.
Yeah, that Metamorphosis, whenever that comes out, the damage ramp is crazy. And that's exactly what we saw right there with Immersion. So first blood going the way of NaVi. And, you know, again, sticking with the Lone Druid, this is a game we could perhaps see that bear build, right? You know, no Radiance target on another hero.
That's a good point. And I think that the cool thing is that they didn't necessarily know that their opponents are going to pick Lone Druid because they picked it later, but knowing that he just played the matchup, I'd like to see if there's a big swing. It'd be like one of those cool moments where, imagine if he gets kills on Lone Druid, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can without ganks, but it's almost always the bear will be there to defend.
Yeah, Earth Spirit, definitely a hero that could rotate if necessary, so we'll see if they get that opportunity. Chen, of course, one of those two. But for the time being, both supports sticking into the lanes, and this bottom lane, we are looking at Ursa currently 23-2. He is feeling pretty good. The Brewmaster on the other side, 12-1, so Ursa having essentially free farm at this bottom. Despite the coddle there. Uh-oh, F9. Getting low, Divine Favor buff coming out, so he'll heal up. It's only level 1, though.
That's fine.
And, yeah, at least keeps him alive.
And it's not just about the fact that it has low regen, it also increases the regen you get. So one cast of that is actually about 100 HP just from the regen. If you throw a Tango on top of that, you're actually getting extra regen bonus from the Tango on top of it. So it's kind of fun. It's a fun skill.
Yeah.
When we think about the mechanics a little bit. Magic Wand with it is really, really good.
Okay.
That's why I like buying, when you start with Chen, it's really fun to buy Fairy Fires as well, because then you're getting bonuses to that heal.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, if you get like a fast Magic Stick and a Fairy Fire, you can actually fight quite a bit with Chen. Genuinely, I think it's fun to play. It's not quite as micro-intensive as it was before.
Yeah. Again, though, the idea that he got that low in the first place, my guess is some Entangle procs came out at this level 5 mark, of course, is where Lone Druid becomes a bit more of a threat, and especially for that kill potential. And OD has to respect that, no doubt. And the CS starting to jump up a bit now. In fact, 15 denies for Lone Druid. Noticing, that's quite a bit.
If you get really good at last hitting with that hero, it's very, very straightforward. That was nice. Had 2 sentries already prepped on the Dire side, surprisingly. If you can see them both mid lane. and Lone Druid was able to quelling out the fresh Observer Ward placed. So just kind of similar to last game, actually. Yeah. This seems to be the key to NaVi playing this Lone Druid mid, is they know that the hero is very vulnerable. If you get ganked a lot and you're trying to catch up, it's not good. But if you can go even and have good lasting mechanics, you get ahead.
Crystallize, he's being ganked right now. A lot of the neutrals to the right also heading on over, getting aggroed, but Crystallize surviving. Chew there to help out what he can, and Crystallize will focus back on the CS. Now Chew, Valentine has to respect that damage. See the fortification coming out from the dire side. I don't know if that was for elsewhere, maybe offensively or something, but either way, nobody dying at this top lane. So 6.5 minutes in, still remains 1-1. Yeah, how about the stack, though? Yeah. Something they want to take advantage of if they can manage to take it there.
Yeah, it's not bad for either team, really, because, I mean, the other Titan's happy to get all the bonus damage, armor, movement speed, all that stuff. But on NaVi's side, they have pretty good ways to clear between, like, TBs and Coddle showing up. They've got solutions to clearing that out.
Yeah.
Good creep sitting here for FNG as well. Unfortunately for him, it's going to take him to level 5 to grab those ones. Got the wrong ones, technically. Depending on what he wants to do with them. Doing his best his own Blizzy here. Ooh.
Yeah, he is dead.
Okay. There was like a 20% chance there that the Brewmaster died with his, whatever it's called, the booze throw thing.
Cinder Brew?
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
No.
You got me second guessing. I'm not. Anyways, the booze thing, yes.
The booze. Yep. Once again, that's 2 wards now that he's been able to deward over here. I'm surprised they kind of placed it in the same spot.
Yeah, you would figure they would have picked up on that, right?
I mean, I think they dewarded all of Navi's sentries and wards there, so they probably felt like, okay, it's fine now, right? Surely he won't
do it again.
Yeah, surely they won't put another.
Again.
I don't know.
Whoops.
Yeah, it was a weird. It's one of those moments where like they fight you with sentries and you put a sentry to deward their sentry, and you're like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
But in this time, he happened to put a ward down, thinking like, okay, this time it'll be all right. But that ward's a really good placement to spot vision and gank the mid enemy.
Next level mind games. Crystallize going on him with the Chaos Bolt, that is. He has that meta pop as well, and the damage is real, especially with the Chaos Strike coming out eventually from Afterlife. So
that was
nice
huge.
Follow-up.
And if you think about that gank right there in comparison to last game, that would have been had to be an attempt on a lifestealer. Good luck getting that kill, basically. Would have been really difficult. Even without his ulti, he would have had Enrage to be able to dodge a stun, or once he got nuked in the first place, he can Enrage to dodge the Coddle Blast. Just so much harder. This looks reminiscent of last game as well. Just a lot of looking for juked heroes.
Yeah, not getting that initial Entangle proc this time around, but yeah, good job right there also for him with the bear, avoiding some damage on him. And goes back to just focusing on the CS side of things. Ursa, though, is topping the net worth chart right now. He's working off of the hero kill as that essentially free farm. And that's what you want to see whenever you pick up an Ursa, right? He needs to snowball. And he's doing exactly that, at least for the time being. Expecting earlier Blink Dagger, I'm sure, to be coming along. Maybe not first, but down the line here. Seneko, he's pushing out this top lane, but there's a roll, and it misses initially. He's going to go for the TP play, hoping that they can't stop him, and he is successful.
As soon as he knew that the roll missed, he knew there were no stuns outside of CK's stun. CK did move forward, but a little bit too late. Maybe he could have gotten a kill with Reality Rift, but
no,
unlikely.
Yeah, that was a FNG was kind of stopped moving for a little bit. It's one of those moments of like, wait a second, wonder if he's looking at his hero or not, but no pings came out from their side, I believe. So Elder Titan coming up to the top lane with the Invis. Kind of set up here, maybe expected TP in the near future. There is Chen behind the tower currently.
Okay.
FNG making his way in, but Elder Titan's just going to be patient for now, and here comes a TP.
FNG's walking some weird ways, man.
Yeah.
That's a Radiant here, by the way, just strolling past the tower from the wrong direction. I don't know what's going on there.
Right, Afterlife is going to be fine. Yeah, that was a little bit funky. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Elder Titan, it seemed like that they were going to be setting up and everything, but they kind of just chilled and...
Oh, the stack has been cleared by somebody. Probably Seneko, I'm guessing.
Well, Seneko might be in trouble now. Divine Favor once again applied to Chaos Knight, so he hits extra hard, but he has to get the hell out of there. He gets hit for the Echo Stomp, splits up with the Phantasm, now going for Crystallize on top of this. He pops his Metamorphosis, but Alpha running in with a couple of Arcane Orb auto attacks from Reality Rift pull in, and Crystallize did not stand a chance, so great fight so far for Gambit. FNG running away from the other Titan. He'll be good. The root on Immersion, though, secures that kill, so they make it a 1-for-1. It
was a pretty good fight for Gambit, though. I mean, they brought the Earth Spirit in and everything kind of changed around, and it's kind of nice how simple that felt. It was like, there's 2 heroes in the area, you teleport one guy that's really far away, and then your mid laner just kind of rotates over. It's just very low resource, basically, committal. And since the Earth Spirit died, now he gets to redeploy basically whichever lane he wants to go to anyway, so it's just not that bad for Gambit. They're 1k ahead. I mean, they're still going to have to worry about a potential Deso on Lone Druid. He's going the same build, I believe. But as long as they take some fights here, and as long as they can eventually get Ursa on some backlines and killing some cores, it's going to be okay. And keeping Terrorblade shut down, also very important.
So
something that didn't happen last game, basically.
So the odds on your screen right there. Again, heavily favoring NaVi for now. They are up 1-0. Looks very good. Decent draft here in game number 2. If you head over to loot.bet, type in the code Valentine, get that bonus. Also register for an account in first place, of course. And get those bets in if you like set odds. Of course, the grand finals also coming up later on today. The winner of this versus NIP. Plenty of loot.bet action there as well. Terrorblade is into the jungle now, though. We know this is one of the worst power spikes of this hero in terms of he has this ability. He can take over the jungle if need be and recover, and that's pretty much what we're seeing right here. As Lone Druid, I don't know if we have confirmation yet on what Lone Druid's going.
Vlads.
Is he going Vlads? Okay, yeah, so you'd
probably. He's like one of those offlaners where Vlads just fits perfect. Gives you mana regen that you kind of need on the hero, and then the aura is still applicable when you use your ulti. So.
On the Brewmaster.
Yes.
Okay, I was talking about Lone Druid. Sorry.
Did you say Druid and I thought Brewmaster?
I think so.
Okay, my bad.
That's understandable.
Yeah, no confirmation, but I did see that he had double Wraith Band and he was going Treads, very similar last game. So I would expect that it's going to be another Deso.
Okay.
It's no, he's queuing on Maelstrom this time. Okay, so probably the reason is because of CK, most likely. Deso is good against CK, but Maelstrom is a little bit safer because that'll give him the capabilities to clear the illusions a bit faster. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I guess the tempo maybe not as expected to be as aggressive either this game around. So, and that was a big part of the Desolator pushing objectives. So they have Terrorblade. It's already good for that. Couple different things there.
See if Ember Earth can get the deny. He does not. On the bright side, Blizzy also didn't get the last hit.
Primal Split is going to have to use it here. Yes, and in comes the Will-O-Wisp as well. Immersion pulled in. Going to be stun locked down, and another Will-O-Wisp pulse going off. He's going to be pushed in, another Will-O-Wisp pulse immersion. He cannot control his character right now. The Illuminate spam comes out to finish the job. Yeah, very good control between the Brewmaster and Coddle. And now Dahak, he's in trouble. He got lifted up for the 6 seconds. Brought back down Utter Titan. Going to land the stomp right here. Do they have a damage follow-up? There is no Earth Splitter, though, as he is not level 6 yet. So Dahak able to make his way out of there at least.
Little too hard to kill that guy. His HP is so high. Good luck on that. Fast 4 staff on OD, no Midas on him. I believe 2 players on Navi both bought Midas though.
Yep.
The maybe not 2, maybe it was just the one. The
on Navi's side, yeah.
I think just
did Lone Druid?
Maybe none actually. Maybe okay, it's 2 on Gambit. Is that what it is? CK and Ursa.
CK and Ursa I know did.
Yes, CK and Ursa both buying them.
Here we go.
Well, this is the cool thing about having the early Chen creep is that you can use it to just Rosh earlier. Because it's just HP, right? FNG has given up his Centaur to tank, and now Ursa's gotten Rosh all the way down to 40% before he's even started. And he's still gone greedy, which is kind of cool. So he didn't have to buy Might, he didn't have to buy Lifesteal. He literally just needed a creep to tank, and he takes Rosh with a single smoke. That was a really smart way to make this fast Rosh work.
I was going to say, yeah, no Morbid Mask, but that on top of the Divine Favor, of course, from Chen.
Yeah, he had Divine Favor. He has Hand of Midas, so he attacks faster. It's actually a huge part for Roshin because it's not like your overpower is going to always be active. So he goes the greedy build. He gets Rosh to get even more greedy, which is a benefit because it's basically like farming. And now he can just run around with his Aegis and probably not use it, but you know it's there. He got gold for his team.
Yeah, exactly. It's I feel like we see that a lot with these Ursas. You know, they get the Aegis and then it's like now what? They just go back to farming. But it's still good to have, of course. It's a takeaway from the other team. You know, yada yada.
He'll definitely run out his opponents. I'm sure he'll do his best here. Why didn't that last at all?
That's good. Yeah, the Echo Stomp broke off right away, didn't it?
I'm not sure why, though.
I'm confused. Well, something hit him, but he got out of it. And now the tower, it's going to take some damage. You see Matt.
Oh, he's got Blink already? What the hell?
Yeah, Blink on Ursa.
Whoa.
Animitis, it'll do that.
Doesn't do that normally.
Apparently it does.
That's insane. It's like I just saw him finish that Midas, it feels like, and now he's got Blink.
Yeah, he went a very, I guess he did go phase boots first even too, but yeah, pretty naked build all the way to the Blink.
I feel like there's nothing you can say that's going to convince me, like, how the hell did this guy get Blink so fast? It's just,
all right,
it's just like,
_cheats.
Can I take a loan? And then he just paid it off right? I don't know. It's incredible. He's got 1 kill. He's got 98 last hits. He's been hitting creeps consistently, apparently. And yeah, Midas, I'm sure, helps, as did the Rosh. But Rosh was probably like 450 gold or something. I don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah.
But you get like a 250 bonus at least, I think, for the last hit. So
well, get him there.
Towers, I guess. 2 towers. Yeah, they've gotten some early towers. Some towers, Rosh. Just adds up, I guess. And now, Ursa's a huge threat, and that A just becomes really valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Because now he can force a fight and jump in aggressively and force reactions.
He is still bottom lane, could be recalled. He's recalling somebody, or a Spirit rolls on in. They push back on a Magical, and here's the Teddy Bear. He jumps in, but they blink away first. Now Magical, though, he's being shredded down. Dahak, he's locked down by the other Titan. He also gets rooted out. This is bad for Dahak. In place right now, but Lone Druid is picked up in the back line, standing in Eclipse. Lays down the hammer to finish the job. Will-O-Wisp is going to be activated, though. Dahak kind of locked down by that, as is Alpha-9. He's pulled back in the last second. The Earth split, the Primal split from Brewmaster, helping to secure that kill. They make it a 1-for-1 right now. So yeah, Dahak, he jumped in. It was kind of an awkward initiation, though.
Yeah, he was trying to get on top of the Lone Druid to kill him, but the problem was at the same moment that Chaos Knight used Reality Rift and moved him away. I was like, where did he go? Where'd that Lone Druid go? So it basically wasted Ursa's initiation. That's actually a really big deal, because when Ursa blinks in aggressively, that thing's on cooldown probably for the rest of the fight, and you need to get on top of the hero that you want to kill. So in that moment of confusion, it made things more complicated. It took longer to kill Lone Druid, and OD had to hit the backline to use his ultimate just to secure that one kill that should have been easier. Yeah. And as a result, OD's probably more out of position. He ends up dying to the Will-O-Wisp. It's definitely one of those small moments where you don't necessarily see it. Like, if I'm CK in that fight, I am not paying attention to the fact that my Chen has been recalling my Ursa, and that Ursa is probably ready to blink in. You know, that's not something on top of your mind. So he thought he was helping, and it actually was a little anti-synergy.
Hawk wants to go in right here, eventually gets Immersion to join the party as well. Not enough damage for the initial kill, but it will add up, and Shoot goes down. Blizzy, different story for him, as plenty of evasions kicking in, so as he's trying to run away back and forth, he's a little bit drunk though. Blizzy ends up going down. Dahak credit for the kill, and now they're going to just work their way to the tier 2 tower at this point. So Gambit, they're not going to keep their foot off the pedal. They're going to keep it on, in fact, and get a tier 2 out of this.
Everything's going fine. I mean, they've out Midas on 2 of their cores, but the Chaos Knight at this point is transitioned back into a drum, so he's fast. The rest of his team is going to be fast. It's a great item to have when you have an ally Ursa and an ally OD. It's perfect, really. So basically, despite these early game items, they're scaling into really strong positions. And on the other side, NaVi, they can't stand up to the same level of dive like they could last game. It just feels different. Like the damage potential that Ursa gives is so much higher in terms of like teamfight threat than a Meepo. The Meepo was very tanky, could deal good damage, and was better against lifesteal, I'd argue, but Gambit's, all their heroes just burst so fast that NaVi can't take teamfights very easily outside of Cuddle ulti.
He didn't have that in-your-face tool that we mentioned that. He didn't go the Blink Dagger. He went more of this, I'm going to push with the team strat, where Ursa, of course, early Blink, you're showing your surprise there how fast he even got it. It has made an effect, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been huge.
And CK's right behind him. That's technically an offlane CK, but as we've also discussed throughout this event, it seems like the meta right now, you have a quote-unquote offlane, but offlanes a lot of the time can be really just another core, and that's what we see with the CK. In fact, he currently picks off Chu at the top lane.
Looks like he used his ultimate for it. Drum charge as well, but absolutely worth it. That's a hero that's great at counter pushing. Kind of an interesting skill build. He maxed out his stun and his rift over the passive, but passive actually doesn't scale super well damage-wise until later in the game when your raw damage goes up. So in terms of his ability to kill heroes, I think he's gone the right way, especially if it's a long stun.
Ursa, he's trying to get the BKB next, already has a Warhammer.
Definitely needs it. He'll be able to deal with the Ignis Fautus really easily, actually. That's something amazing that Ursa can do this game with his BKB. Just overpower, blink in, kill that thing, and his whole team is going to have better capabilities to fight.
Yeah. And no doubt going to be a useful tool, and eventually when that Sunder's more of a threat, I mean, it always is going to be a threat, I guess, but now, of course, it doesn't pierce that BKB, so another thing that Dahak will like set item 4. Yasha on Terrorblade, he's trying to finish the Manta style, but Terrorblade's been, I don't want to say recovering, but he has been behind both the Ursa and the CK at this point. In fact, just as I'm talking about this, the net worth, OD even jumps up there. Yeah. So, you know, all 3 cores on the side of Gambit are feeling really good right now.
Terrorblade is going to get strong as the game continues, though. Like, Sunder is still always going to be a big issue. Terrorblade naturally has stupid amounts of armor, so that means the only hero that's really good against him is OD. So he's still in a good position, and Crystallize is so fantastic that I am not super concerned. He's 2-2-1, so it's not terrible.
Spirit, ooh, gets the roll off right as he's on the outskirts of the Echo Stomp, though. Gets connected, and Immersion goes down, so he's out for 30 seconds. Easy tower push. And they might as well keep going.
That's really good. That's the main initiator on Gambit's side. That causes a lot of teamfight disruption. They can get some tower damage on this tier 2, maybe even kill it. Yeah, and they're going to commit Metamorphosis here. I like that. He used meta and instantly Cuddle's like, let's reduce that cooldown by 6 seconds. Like it's gonna fucking matter.
This is the difference maker. Yeah, maybe not the greatest synergy there.
I mean, how many times is he gonna cast Chakra Magic on him is the question. It could be like, there it is again.
Oh,
she's like, we're gonna have the perma uptime, baby. I want to do the numbers now. I'm very curious.
Oh, he's gonna be jumped by that blink. The BKB finished by DaHawk as well. In his face, Crystallize pops his own BKB and gets the Glimmer Cape as mentioned to save him. So he's got the Sunder still. Now DaHawk has to respect that.
He's still casting
another chakra.
Ooh, it's almost off cooldown, guys.
It's still got 100 seconds at least.
It's definitely one of those abilities that typically you wouldn't expect to be good. NaVi was really hoping to find a Sunder option there.
Oh, Will-O-Wisp going down, immersion, caught the Entangle proc on top of that, so Earthspirit's going to be picked off the bat. The Chaos Ball hits Brewmaster in the back lines.
He's still spamming it.
He's good to go, though.
Tested like 4 times now. What's he at, 75 seconds? You know, it's turned it into a regular cooldown.
It's genuinely. It is pretty good.
It just ran out, and it's 80 seconds away from being up. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and TB is normally picked and played in this way without Caudle, and is still seen as a viable carry. So if you're just standing around and you have nothing else to do as Caudle, that's fine. Chakra Magic doesn't even cost mana anymore, I don't think. So it's like they're actually just giving themselves more time to take objectives and to take team fights. It's not that bad.
Yeah, 45 more seconds. That meta is going to be back up. That is, it's kind of crazy to think, actually. So that was a solid push there from NaVi, but the overall net worth is still 5K. You see the experience looking pretty good for Gambit. They didn't get the most in terms of objectives there. All they got was a tier 2 tower and a couple of Earthspirit kills throughout. The Kaya Yasha. Yasha Kaya. I always forget how it's said. But point is, it's picked up by OD.
It really depends if you're a Kaya half full or a Yasha half full guy.
Gotcha. I'll go with the Kaya Yasha.
Okay.
DaHawk, he's hunting.
I would have said the other way around. That's like
you're a Yasha fan.
I always say Kaya last.
Yasha,
for some
Kaya.
Reason. Sanj, Kaya. Yeah, Sanj and Yasha. It's like Sanj is one. Actually, that's how it should be, because if you talk about attributes, it always goes strength, agility, intelligence. Kaya is third.
Yasha,
everyone knows that.
It's the third best, yeah.
The strengthiarchy is how this works.
Figured it out. All right, fair enough. Basher coming along for Ursa, 1,300 gold saved up. Of course, great for him. He's just running around the jungle farming creeps. Yeah, Chaos Knight and Earthspirit nearby. They might find Caudle, as Brewmaster just gets his Midas. He's going to go try to use it, but no, instead he finds 3 heroes, and a Midas does not work good against those. So easy pick for the Radiant squad. He's out for 30, and is Roshan up? It sure is. Why not do it?
So I think one of the biggest advantages that Gambit has this game is their disables. Basher coming on Ursa, CK stun. He's going to have Blink shortly. That's really scary when you're playing a hero like Terrorblade and you're looking to get good Sunders off. But that's what the BKB's for. If NaVi can take a fight, get Terrorblade focused on, if he can get a good Sunder off, they're gonna hard commit to the fight. But second Aegis now going to Gambit, and this time with Cheese. We're 24 minutes into the game. This is like a old school Ursa where like people were not very good about Roche controlling, so one team would kind of just get it all the time. Maybe you can blame the map a little bit where Roche pit used to be, but you can get so many Roches that the refresher shards are going to come out really quickly.
Yeah, that's by the time it respawns, we're going to be just after 30 minutes, and you know, a quick kill on that's going to absolutely be a quick refresher shard.
Magical's going finishes BKB now, by the way. I haven't really felt much of an impact from him thus far.
Yeah, well, especially compared to last game.
Yeah, but the last game was like, there just weren't that many diving threats. I mean, maybe if Meepo had purchased a Blink Dagger, maybe that was the big difference maker that we were talking about. It's like, oh, Meepo's kind of a threat. He didn't buy Blink, so then Londra just kind of sat back and was like, I can kind of do whatever I want. No big deal.
Oh, they're going to be engaging. Chaos Knight, he pulls in Blizzy. It looks like, can they kill him before the split? The evasion kicking in. He's trying to get it off, and he finally will. Will-O-Wisp also helping. Immersion in the backlines. Got the Magnetize. No, didn't even get the Magnetize, actually. He goes down before he can do said thing, and now the chase from the Primal split. They lock down FNG. Easy kill onto him. Buyback from the Earth Spirit, though, so far. It's only the 2 deaths, but the damage from the Metamorphosis auto attacks. Nice job with the Astral Imprisonment, putting his teammate under. But Immersion, he's going to go for a dieback right here. After goes down as well. As soon as it comes back out, the Aegis resurrecting him in the time being. DaHawk, he's running after somebody. Looks like it's a kill onto the lone Druid. But DaHawk, that Enrage will be wearing off. Yeah, they cannot deal with this Terrorblade right now. Crystallize, he is a baller. Pops Reflection. The pushback with the Blinding Light. DaHawk pops Cheese, though. So he's still good for the time being. But those auto attacks continue to add up from the Metamorphosis. Elder Titan cannot chase him. And at least Ursa makes his escape. But yeah, Crystallize, he's going to be an issue.
No kidding. I mean, his TB has been a huge threat all game. I mean, he's at least going to have Reflection on a low cooldown later, and it's going to get Chakra Magicked, and he's going to double cast it, is what's going to happen. And that's really when the computers crash.
Thank God there's no Phantom Lance in this game
but
as well.
He's getting Conjure Images out more rapidly. He's basically like, he's just like a tower in every fight, where they're like, I'm not going to mess with him. And he just like chunks people down. Yeah. Like OD, every single fight is getting targeted by Crystallize, and he just loses all of his health. His only salvation is literally removing himself from this dimension. That's the only way he can survive these team fights.
I'm going to pop that imprisonment there, but did not matter. The long run died shortly after coming out of it, of course. And again, they gave him the Aegis, so it was used there, yeah, as we saw.
And if it wasn't for Aegis, there's no way Gambit even gets close to going okay in that fight. And that was probably, in my opinion, one of the more impactful Roshans we've seen in a while. Because that was a fight that NaVi probably should have just won like 4 kills for nothing kind of a thing. And instead it ended up being like a couple kills. They didn't get any gold for the OD kill, for example, or experience, which they should have. And yet still Gambit's up by 6k gold. That was like a throw prevention. But the bright side is, you killed them so early that it's going to take a long time until they get the next Rosh. So if they can just force another fight sometime soon while abusing their BKB timings, it would be really good for NaVi. They need to get back in this game, and they're doing very well, and they just got to keep being patient, take another good fight.
DeHawk top lane. Now they scanned behind the Lone Druid, a hit for a second there, so they know they're nearby. And, in fact, Emergent's going to go in though, but the Will-O-Wisp quick response. Magically, he's still dropping Ursa, shredding right through him, but it's not enough damage. He gets away just barely. Hand of God going to be used by FNG, and it's once again retreat time for Gambit. Emergent off to the left. He's going to be able to roll out, and nobody ends up dying for now. Chu still running after, but back here, the split up with the Phantasm catches Blizzy. Blizzy does have a problem split, cannot, yes, he gets it off in time at the last second. That is big. Earthspreader also throwing down. The BKB wearing off of Chaos 9. He's going to the back lines. They lose Chen. Well, CK, he's going to be focused now. He wanted the kill on Kato. He couldn't even get it. They turn with the Metamorphosis of Terrorblade.
My God, dude.
And once again, he just melts away.
Seneco's got this game. Every single time that somebody gets initiated on, instant Glimmer Cape. That's the only reason that NaVi won this fight. Can they get this kill as well? Oh, turning around a little bit.
Some good damage right there. Blizzy is picked off. As Magical also goes down to the backlines to DeHawk. So Crystallize, does he still have Sunder? I believe he does, yep. So he is still ready to use that if necessary. In fact, Kato's going to be picked up as well, so maybe it's looking decent for Gambit all of a sudden. Chu gets hit by the boulder. He too is going to fall, trying to be distracted. At this point says, no, fight me, please. All right, so he is going to be run after, although Terrorblade up to the right is still being chased down. Chu goes for the Echo Stomp, but it's connected. He does go down. Crystallize has his Thunder still. Keep going back to that. But DeHawk.
Like that was perfect. Perfect juke.
Yeah.
It was so obvious he was going to go to the right, feint him,
left,
and then just go left. That was kind of scary otherwise. So, like I said, the only reason NaVi was winning fights is Glimmer Cape. Ursa's initiating. This man needs to sell a stick and buy a glimmer or buy a dust, because I am semi-confident he would have been able to kill Lone Druid in the first place if he brought Dust with him. He does tons of damage. The initiation was great, but without Dust, I mean, it could also be Earth Spirit that carries the Dust, but maybe it's also possible that he that they popped Dust and he popped BKB and then went Invis anyways because they removed the Dust, sure. I guess. I could be wrong here. But it feels like the Glimmer's been super huge. It's the only thing that's preventing Ursa, who's really farmed, from just blowing up one hero at the start of every fight.
That one here, Lone Druid, has no doubt had trouble with him in several of these fights. So you do see he's working on a Hurricane Pike, which would be good eventually. But even that, he only has 1,300 gold saved up. So
I mean, he's spending 4,000 gold on an item that is basically a 4-staff and like a mediocre damage item. So that's not where you want to be as Lone Druid. Lone Druid does not feel nearly as good this game. It does feel a lot like Lone Druid's kind of like he's the heal. You want everybody to focus him, and you want TB to sit back and do TB stuff. And now that he has Scotty finished, that might be the case. Ursa's going to have a lot of trouble getting away once he engages from fights now.
And Scotty will do plenty of work. The Bounty Rune is going to be split there for either team.
This is a level 11 Chen. Oh, he's going my build. The Ring of Basilius.
Oh, boy.
I invented it.
Okay.
I'm the smartest. Basie Chen. No one's done that before me. I think that's the best way to do it, honestly. It's very inexpensive, gives you mana regen. It gives your whole team 2 armor. Yeah. That's 10% increased estimated hit points.
Just like when you see the casual Buckler. I mean, these items, you know, not too bad to have.
Buckler is slightly worse than he used to be, but Basie is legit for pushing. Nobody has Aqua anymore, you know? Like, Basie, obviously people buy Vlads a lot, and he is actually going to rush a Vlads. Why not both? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
No,
6 armor to your whole team. That's really good against TB. That's actually the solution.
So Gambit's in control now.
Yeah, the game's over because he's got a basic, is what I'm trying to say.
It's been, I mean, Gambit has been in control. It's as far as the net worth is concerned. Again, it's been a very consistent. It's been in that 5 to 7K range for a good almost 15 minutes, it feels like.
All right, Tekcac is stream cheating, dude. He sold his stick and he bought a dust. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Definitely stream cheating.
Or your insight was just that good.
No, he's stream cheating. Valve banned this guy.
Very likely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I saw Earthspirit have the dust as well. I don't know if that was right after the fact or what, but
they know what happened. They're like, it is the worst feeling in the world when you jump in and you're like, this guy is so dead, and then he goes invisible, and you're like,
wait, where did he go?
somebody, dust, invis,
No one has vision. Afterlife, BKBTP. Is the damage enough? Jeez, it almost looked like it.
If only that bear had boots or a windlace.
Oh, true.
He would have gone there in time and then had a 20% chance to interrupt a
and
teleport.
then may have stopped it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a smoke or not, but either way, that's a great grab for NaVi. Not only did CK have to teleport away, he used BKB. That means when he goes in the next fight, Brewmaster is going to wreck his life if he gets his ultimate off, that is.
Yeah,
Tower's dead, and they're going high ground.
Yeah, no, again, as you mentioned, no BKB on Chaos Knight, so they're feeling pretty good about the chances right now.
Their heroes aren't even here. Do they know this is coming? Do they have TP ready?
Is OD?
He's walking around. All right, he's got an Arcane Rune. Okay, he's coming,
That's pretty big.
Look at this tower, it's dead already.
Yep, tier 3's gone. Got the Echo Stomp in the back lines as well, so OD finally gets here, but as we mentioned, tier 3's already dead.
In the air.
They already used the Promo Split. There's the throw in the air. 6 seconds going to be controlled for. And beating down the racks. The back lines to Hawk. He goes in the center. His Eclipse comes out. Lone Druid is bursted down like crazy. No Glimmer Cape saving him right there. Kata also goes down, and Crystal is like, you know what, I got to get the hell on out. He just TPs away as his teammates are going to fall around him. So probably the right call, but obviously a great initiation from Gambit as they make it a 4-0. Tier 3 did die.
So this is kind of the big issue with Navi's lineup, and maybe one time where I think, who's the guy playing Lone Druid? I can't remember what his name.
Magical.
Magical. I think one case where Magical might have the wrong item build.
Yeah.
Which is extremely rare, but I think it might be the case here. He's gone range bear build, which means he has to hit barracks, but he can't hit barracks. That's the problem. If he's not hitting barracks with his hero, that fight doesn't end up like that. Because he's always going to be the guy who gets initiated on, but he's got to buy damage items, and he's got to hit tower, and he's going to have BKB. And every single fight is going to start the same. It's going to be CK Blink stunning Lone Druid, or it's going to be Earthspirit rolling into Lone Druid and stunning him, followed up by another stun, or it's going to be Ursa jumping on and stunning him. If he doesn't get his BKB off in time, and if he stands there and is stunned for a couple seconds, he's going to die every single team fight. Unless he has, like, I don't know, if he's in bear mode or something like that. I don't think he should transition his item build, but it feels like a really big weakness.
Maybe
this
like
game.
a Ghost Scepter. I mean,
it's the same as BKB is the problem. It doesn't give him a solution. The only thing that's kept him alive so far this game is Seneko buying that really fast Glimmer Cape. Like, he needs some kind of an item solution, but there just isn't that much.
And he really can't transition to bear build now. I mean, you've already got the talents for the range, and you don't really have the items for that. So
it's still doable, but it's hard. It's like he'd be putting a Maelstrom on his bear, which is okay. I don't know. It
would feel weird.
It would.
It may be the answer, though.
It might be the answer. It genuinely might be the answer. I'm not sure. Or they have to play the team fights in a different way. But if he does transition to bear build and he doesn't have the 10 armor from level 15, then yeah, it would be a big difficulty.
Purge, that's the third Roshan. We were talking about that. This is going to be an early third Roshan, and there we go, about 34 minutes in. So they have the Aegis, they have the Cheese and the Shard. I'm not sure. I would assume OD probably has a Shard. If you're this Radiant squad.
I don't know, was that a gank? I'm not sure what that was. They're actually going on top. They used split on the Ursa.
Yeah, Ursa, he's being run after. Meanwhile, somebody's in prison. That would be the Terrorblade running after them. Yeah, Ursa
Look
up top.
to the north.
Is he dying? He's at half life. We're watching the casting bars right there. Oh, he's at third life.
There
he's at 10%. And he's eventually.
This is a huge kill if they get him.
Maybe.
Okay.
There we go.
I mean, this is a really good place to put an Ursa behind enemy lines. Block the guy in, you know.
Oh, got the BKB off.
Okay.
They can't stop him.
Okay.
Stop just not in time.
Well, not terrible. I mean, NaVi's still within striking distance of winning this game by all means. They're behind by 12K, but I don't think they're in a terrible position. They kill Shrines easily.
Butterfly on Terrorblade, and he got that reflection talent at 20.
Of course. So now he can double reflect. It's not the best reflect target. It's good against CK. You'll get one auto crit. It's not that great against Ursa. Ursa illusions are typically not very strong, but against CK, really good.
It still just creates chaos. Blizzy, he doesn't have the Promise Plate. So, but he's got a Glimmer Cave, but the dust comes out, and he's going to be fine. Immersion, he's on the hill. For spot to be in. The Will-O-Wisp kind of pulling it back in. Sending this Eclipse, not enough damage to kill Magical. They still want it, though. Afterlife.
He's BKB, I think.
Hunting in.
Oh, he's so solo.
He has the BKB. He chooses not to. Yes. Well, what's the point?
I finally looked at the map and I realized just how freaking surrounded he was. He had almost no hope of victory. Best thing he could maybe done is like BKB and TB home, but it's probably not worth it. Top
lane was being pushed up by Terrorblade during this, so actually OD had to go back and defend it, it looks like. He's not here, but Seneko, he's going to get caught. Glimmer Cape, MVP item this game.
He really has it. He probably had a Glimmer Cape challenge this game. That's why he bought it. Because he's 3 stars already. That's
forget trying to win the game, you know, it's one of the quests there. Yeah.
Quests are important, dude.
They are.
He's got to unlock his things and his item sets.
Shards.
Exactly.
Cosmetics. The Hawk, he's leading the way.
Dota Plus, actually.
What is he doing?
Conscientious objective.
Crystallize got pulled in, but the pushback, he pops his Manta style BKB, everything else, and Afterlife, holy crap, starts melting. Again, still has Sunder. That's something we haven't really seen yet because Crystallize himself hasn't necessarily been the most threatened.
Yeah, he's been far enough ahead. He's got survivability. Lundred's always easier to kill, so. I wonder how different this game would be if he went bear build. I mean, it should be bear versus bear anyways, right?
It makes sense.
At this point, I want Lundred to lose. He's giving up his bear spirit heritage or whatever.
He's got the Force Staff.
It looks so gross. Look at his items.
Yeah.
His damage items are 2 Wraith Bands and a Treads and a Maelstrom. And we're like 37 minutes in a game. He's had to buy all these defensive items. He had to buy BKB, which isn't even a good Ursa solution. Yeah. He had to buy that just because he could not walk away from his ally. If anything, he should have bought just like a Force Staff or something. I don't know.
You see what I was going to say? They're not running this Tricore like the other team, but Brewmaster is going Radiance. I just saw right there. He has the recipe. He has 3,200 gold, so he almost has it.
That's good.
Yeah.
They need another damage source. If he pairs it with like Magic Resistance Talent, I think this game would be, it'll be okay. I'm not sold on their damage output. Definitely TB is a monster, but can he be the only monster on Navi's team for a while?
I had the chance to cast a game recently, the South American qualifier at the Dream League. It was the 1 versus 5 Terrorblade. I don't know if you saw the clip.
I did, yeah. That one was really fun. It was a fun clip.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's always possible. 25 Terrorblade, anything can happen.
I totally get you, but I don't know about against the heroes he's up against. It makes it a little bit hard to grab.
Immersion.
Get in there,
fast. Bear. He's running. Got a roll. He's good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Magical craps his pants every time that somebody throws 1 stun on him, honestly. Like, is there
Please don't die.
There's going to be a fight up here in the jungle.
Yeah, they are engaging. Crystallize, he's going to be jumped actually. Crystallize locked down, gets the Force Staff away. The Sending Eclipse not enough damage because he had the BKB.
Sunder.
But the Bash proc, he can't get the Sunder off. The Bash proc coming through, and they finish the job. He does have buyback, and I assume he has meta. Refresher Shard pop, by the way, from OD. There's the buyback on Terrorblade, but the Sending Eclipse takes out the LD and Terrorblade. He's got the meta form, but now the Radiant team's trying to retreat somehow. As I say that, they jump back in on top of him. They pull him in with the reality rear. Crystallize pops the Manta style though, or Splitter coming through. Somewhat zoning them out. Afterlife, now the beatdown begins. Eats the cheese. He'll be fine for now, but fine for only so long. That slow is so massive.
Man,
cannot get away.
There's the raw power of Terrorblade.
Here comes Tahawk, though. He bursts down the 1, and Elder Titan, but buyback immediately. He did not go for Crystallize, so he's still good to go. The Scythe initially, but he's back up, running after them now. So Gambit in the retreat mode this time, and the 2 cores make it out.
Definitely a scary moment for Navi because they bought back on a couple cores there, and if they died, and lost the fight, that game was over. They would have been the 2 racks probably, but they were able to take it to them. You really saw the raw power of Terrorblade. It's really impressive. That CK is quite farmed, and when he does get on top of all of Navi and all of his illusions get killed, he's the biggest glowing target ever, where Terrorblade's like, I don't care that you're magic immune. I'm just going to attack you till you die twice through cheese.
Double damage rune actually picked up Elder Titan. Almost surprised at that. We didn't necessarily see, but it seemed like that was a pretty free DD rune.
Lone Druid cannot cross the river this game. I don't know if you noticed. It is not safe on the maps. Obviously, it would be great with TB, but he's busy hitting creeps, and they must not have a bottle either. Otherwise, they would very possibly give it to him. Yeah, he went Savage Roar cooldown, Battlecry cooldown. He's queuing up Daedalus. I don't know.
Might as well, I guess.
I don't know what you do this
Any
game.
bit of damage that you have.
Druid. I feel like bear build is probably better, but it's also bad against Ursa, kind of. I don't know. Maybe Radiance just would have been the solution.
Again, they do have Radiance now on Blizzy, at least.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
Got that going for them. Nullifier coming up for Ursa.
Good choice. Stop Glimmer Capes. Can dispel those as long as you use it afterwards.
Yeah.
Stop items. That's the big part. Now that BKB that he bought on Lone Druid and the Force Staff, literally all of his items can become made useless.
I think jumping the Terrorblade even with that.
That's true.
Not a bad idea.
Prevent BKB, continue the
And
chain stun.
Manzo.
I mean, that's why they killed him in the last fight, right? I don't know if he bashed into another bash or was like a stun into another stun, but it seemed like he didn't even have the opportunity to turn and sunder.
Nope, he was just locked down. Shrine, it's going to be easily killed. The bottom Shrine's still there for NaVi, but let's secure the top one at least for now.
All the Shrines could die, actually.
Top shrine has fallen.
Yeah, he's really close to his Nullifier, actually. I feel like we haven't seen tons of impact from the Elder Titan so far this game, but I'm sure it's there. Like him standing near Chaos Knight, for example. Chaos Knight has 0 armor. That's huge when you've got a TB on your team. Even it amplifies almost everything. We've seen a couple good like splitters. He's like just one of those heroes that you don't always feel the impact of. It's very easy to ignore the aura, for example. Just think like, oh, I do tons of damage, but really it's Elder Titan, or maybe some stun catches some support on the backline that's about to use a critical disable or saving skill, but they're disabled. So I might just be underplaying it a bit. But it's certainly, there's too many beefy, scary frontliners on Gambit for Chu to really get in there and do any right-click stuff this game. It's just not doable.
Terrorblade chose to get a Lincoln's.
Okay, I think that's a really good idea, because he does so much damage, right? This is going to stop some of those disables, possible hexes, Abyssal Blades, for example. That's all he needs. He needs to not get chain stun, because he's starting to be focused rather than them always going on Lone Druid. Because at this point, they're probably looking at LD and they're like, I really don't even care if he's alive in the fight. Yeah. Like, we could go on him.
What is he going to do, tickle us? Yeah.
He's going to use Force Staff to push himself away. That's one benefit, actually, is that his Force Staff, even if he doesn't get gone on, can be used on one of his allies.
And this is a 4-1. NaVi's running a 4-1 strategy in full. It's just unfortunate. It wasn't intended for the beginning, but that's just how the game is played out here. What do we got here? Blizzy splits up. He's going for the solo kill on FNG. He runs away for a second, but goes back in and takes him out.
Yep.
So they get one catch. Roshan, it's going to be a pretty long Roshan respawn. They were hoping for a quick spawn, but not the case. So going. Catch more, actually.
I mean,
what's going on here?
I don't
know. No lift already happening, and Will-O-Wisp put down OD. Gonna get hit by that immersion. Meanwhile, they pick off Coddle back as that looks like the Hawk doing the job there. He's going for the TP out, though. He wants to get the hell out of it. He does not want to fight this. No, it's going to be stopped or something. So he's forced to fight now. Hand of God going to be used. The OD Sand of these Eclipse coming out too, but Crystallize, he's got plenty of life. We are pretty zoomed out right here. Lone Druid in the backlines. He is staying alive. It's a link, but Crystallize again cannot get off the Sunder. The Sanity's Eclipse, just too much damage. They call GG. I mean, he had no buyback for 2 minutes. Probably it.
Yeah, I mean, he bought back a couple fights ago. I think they played it correctly, but it was... The Lone Druid got too far behind. Genuinely think that this game would have been different if he had gone bear build. I don't blame him for going the same build as last game, because it can be... After how strong he was last game, it's just